Hi everyone, I'm Gautam aka the Seeker of Wisdom. I'm a manifestation coach, and in this video we're going to be talking a little bit about the 10K Affirmation Challenge. Now before I do so, I'd like to remind you guys I am available for coaching, so I offer hourly, monthly, email and DM coaching along with premium coaching right now, which is basically unlimited calls and unlimited DMs. So the links for that will be in the description down below, where you'll have access to an FAQ page where you can find all the answers you need, and thereafter you guys can reach out to me via Instagram or email for pricing information and to figure out what plans may be suitable for you. I also have a Facebook group where I upload resources from time to time, as well as you guys can ask me questions anonymously if you wish to do so. And I also have a mailing list where I post articles from time to time, as well as my latest offers for coaching. And last but not least, I also have a Manifest Your SP bundle, which consists of my Manifest Your SP course, Remove Your Third Party course, and 2 months of DMs with 4 1-hour call sessions. So you can spread it out and use it in any fashion you like, and it offers great flexibility. So if you are looking to manifest your SP, and if you want to get into something that is intensive and something that you can use over a large period of time, this course is perfect for you, this bundle is perfect for you. So if you have any questions on that, you can email me as well. So without further ado guys, let's get to it. So I think a couple months back, right, I think it was last month or earlier this month, I think this kind of blew up, right? I could be wrong when this kind of blew up, but like basically the whole 10K affirmations really became popular in the last month or so, I believe, right? So and a lot of people were asking me about it. I think it was like I think it started in Twitter, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong there, but anyway. So the idea behind that is that as you are like repeating your affirmations for a specific number, right, you will manifest your desires, or you will start to see very obvious movements in the 3D that indicates that your desire is on its way, basically, right? And that magic number being 10,000, right? So the idea is that if you can affirm for like 10,000 times, right, like with your affirmations, right, you are probably going to really get your desires, because it has cemented into your subconscious mind, it's already in your system, so you're probably going to get it. So that's essentially the basics of it, and I really want to kind of dig deep into it, and kind of give my insights on it, what my friends are saying, what my clients are saying, and I feel like some of these things could be useful for you guys. I've kind of tried that challenge as well, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on it as well. And yeah, so let's start with my thoughts, right? What do I think about this? I think this is a great challenge. I think this is like when someone embarks on this like 10K affirmation challenge, I think it's great, because at the end of the day, I think what it does is that it really gives them a number to aim for, right? There's a goal, there's an end goal there, right? So every time when they're using either a clicker or app, and I'll go a bit into more into detail in this regard, but whatever that they're using to kind of count the number of affirmations, right, like by the time they reach that, they have a sense of accomplishment, right? And I feel like that is really important, because then you are like building up towards something, you are able to track your progress, and I feel like these things are kind of give you that sense that okay, things are progressing, I'm becoming better, I'm growing, I'm evolving. So I feel like that way it's great. And as I said, right, like you have a number to aim for, and what it does is that it helps you to really persist, right? So it helps you to stay on your game, and to really go after that number, basically. And what happens as a result of this is that you are repeating your affirmations over and over and over again, right? Which is the main essence of this whole challenge, is repetition. If I can summarize this challenge in one word, it's repetition, right? Which is what literally all techniques are about, right? Visualizing, SATs, inner conversations, whatever it may be. Repetition is always the key. Why? Because it allows you to break the old story, right? Break the old patterns, and build on your new story and strengthen that, right? So that it may cement into your subconscious mind and get pushed out, basically, right? So that's the whole essence of this, right? Challenge is basically repetition, right? It's training you to get comfortable with repetition. So I think it's a great challenge. And like I said, right, like 10,000 is just a rough number to aim for. But I think, like, you don't have to, like, if you can start, like, if you want to, you can start even lower. If that number kind of really overwhelms you, I would say, like, okay, let's start with 1,000. If you think you can, get to your first 1,000, every day, for example, right? Of course, you can start to, get to the next one, and then the next one. It's easier. So you can even break that 10K down, into smaller chunks, so that it's easier for you to aim for that, if the 10K number overwhelms you, that is, right? So just a suggestion from my end. But yeah, so what are my friends saying about it, right? Like, if like, I do lives with like, friends like, Wendell, who's known as Hope Nuggets, for example. He really loves doing that. A lot of my other clients too. And a lot of them, what they did was they either used a clicker or an app. One of the well-known apps that my client uses is Counter. So it has this like big button there, and you can like press, and you can also do it in like tens or 20s, and it has like all those like features there, which is really great. So you can just like use your phone and just tap onto it as you're repeating your affirmations over and over and over again. So I think a lot of people have seen results with this. I also even posted a few of those results as well. So one of my friends, he was repeating these affirmations, and like like he was able to bring his SP on a date, for example, right? So I even posted that as well. So I feel like, really, if you're looking for something that really is simple to do, that's that has proven results, I feel like repetition and repeating your affirmations is a great way of going about it. And I will say this, right, like, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Some people really like doing this, some people really find it like a chore. So you can find your sweet spot in between. And if this technique doesn't appeal to you, like, it's fine. Don't put pressure on yourself. Like, like, there are other techniques as well, like conversations or scripting and whatnot. But like, I'm saying this because I don't want people to get swayed. Like, if, let's say, you are getting tremendous success with, say, scripting and conversations, and you see this challenge going on in the community, I don't want you to feel pressure, thinking that, oh no, maybe I should be doing like what they are doing right now, and then maybe I could get my results faster. No such thing, right? So don't put pressure on yourself, right? So I just wanted to put that quick disclaimer out there. But yeah, so, like, my friends have gotten great results with this, and I think that like, with this challenge, like, consistency is key, self-discipline is key. The people who have gotten success with it are people who have done their due diligence. They like, repeat the affirmations every day, and they track their progress. They ensure that they are always on their mental diet. Their mental diet is always on point, right? And I will talk about this a bit more as well. But like, really, their mental diet is on point. They are very self-disciplined. They're consistent. They don't skip a day. They don't skip their routines in any way. They are very disciplined about the whole thing. And and their results show that, right? And also, they don't get swayed by the 3D, right? They don't really care about what's going on in the 3D and stuff like that. Basically, they are focusing on just getting to that number, and they're just repeating, and they're filling their mind up, they're saturating their mind up with that favorable affirmation. And another thing is that when someone goes on this challenge, they don't focus more than, say, like, three things, for example. So you can do the 10K affirmation challenge with like a couple different things, right? A couple different affirmations. But one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of people who are doing that, right, both from my friends and client side, they stick to about three areas, I would say, maximum, right? So their entire focus revolves around that, 2 to 3 maximum, right? So maybe like money and love, or life in general and SP, um, or three of those things, right? Like general prosperity, love, and money, right? And that they choose an affirmations for that, right? Or even health, for example. And then they just repeat those affirmations, and they focus on reaching 10K for each one of those. So let's say if repeating one of those affirmations gets really tiring for you, you can always use, go to the other one. Like let's say if I'm repeating SP affirmations, like my SP loves me, my SP loves me, my SP loves me, that gets tiring after a while, or that gets boring. What do? They switch. They go to the next one. They go to health, for example. I'm perfectly healthy, I'm perfectly healthy, I'm perfectly healthy, I'm perfectly healthy, right? So they keep repeating that over and over and over again. So what it does is that, like, it breaks the mundane nature of this activity, and they add a little bit of like so-called variety there, right? So they get to go from one area to another with ease there. So that is something that my friends do, but generally speaking, they stick to about three things maximum. So that's something that I've noticed, and I think they don't want their focus to be spread, over a couple of different things. They don't want to be stretched thin, and also, if you have like 5 different areas, like practically speaking, it's going to take longer for you to reach 10K for all 5 of those areas. Whereas if you have, like, let's say one or two, for example, it's obviously going to be easier, right? Because those are the only two you're going to be repeating. So it's going to be easier to reach that 10K number, for example. So I feel like, it's a much smarter move. Let's say if you have a lot of things to manifest, like what I would do is that either choose a general affirmation, right? Like my friend, like Wendell always says, like, my life is perfect, for example. Mine is like, everything's always favorable for me, right? Some people will say for health, like, I'm perfectly healthy from head to toe, right? So things like that, right? General, very broad affirmations. So that way you get to ensure that all your areas are covered in one affirmation. It's very efficient, right? And then if you have a very specific desire, a very strong desire, for example, and then you can affirm for that. So I would say, like, keeping it to two, like, you can reach 10K pretty easily with that, right? And I'm going to be sharing strategies with for that as well, but I just want to, highlight this, right? So again, the counter app really helps. Some people use apps in PC to help them as well. So you can click as you repeat your affirmation. So there are many ways to go about this, and I'll talk about a way that a client taught me, which I thought was really, really neat. So a client of mine, she's an entrepreneur. She has multiple businesses, and so she was like embarking on this challenge, and I was like, okay, like, I have a question for you. How do you manage to count the affirmations, right? Like, how do you manage to count these affirmations? Because I know you're very busy, your schedule's like, like, filled up, like, so how do you do it? So she gave, this was such in, like, when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay, that makes so much sense. Like, why um didn't I think about that type of thing? But basically, essentially what she does is that, like, she affirms, like, for the when the first time she affirms, like, say 10 minutes, right? For the first 10 minutes, she counts the number of affirmations. So she repeats her affirmations, and counts it, right? Like, every time she affirms, she clicks the app, basically. Then what she does is that she extrapolates from there. So the next time she affirms, she doesn't do it every single time. For example, she will say, like, let's say you start at 9:30 and then you end at 10, right? You just extrapolate. So if for 10 minutes I can affirm X number of times, for 30 minutes it's literally times 3. And then I just, like, put in the number for that day, and I'm done, right? So I felt like it was such an efficient way. And granted, the only thing with that is that you may not get the most accurate number, but if you know your pace of affirming, for example, like, if you have been doing this for a while, if you know yourself really well, if you know your pace, I feel like this is a good way of going about it, honestly. Again, the emphasis, like, I think for her as well, like, she agreed with me, my client. She was saying, like, the number really doesn't matter to me. It's like a rough, threshold that I'm trying to reach, such that by the time I reach it, I know that, okay, I've done approximately like 10,000 times, right? Give or take, right? So that way I know that, okay, it's starting to cement into my subconscious mind, basically, right? So that was her rationale, and I felt that was really a clever way of going about this, a very efficient way of going about this, because I know a lot of you out there have busy jobs, like, and don't really have the luxury to sit down there and, like, and tapping your phone all the day, right? Like, because if you're in office and stuff like that, you may not have the time, and I get it, right? And even with some of my other clients too. So with all our busy schedules, like, we have to find efficient ways to kind of like calculate like this thing. And I felt like this was a very efficient way to go about it. So yeah, another thing I wanted to say was to keep this process as easy as possible for you. One thing you ought to do is to kind of keep your affirmations simple, plain and simple. Keep it short, keep the sentence short, right? Let's say if my sentence is lengthy, right, that means I'm going to take longer to repeat it. Therefore, the whole 10K affirmation challenge is going to take longer for me to finish. It's just, like basic logic there, right? So I would say like keep your sentences very short, right? So that way, you can always, repeat it over and over and over again with ease, quicker as well, right? You can, if you are manifesting a SP, for example, you can just say my SP loves me unconditionally, or literally like my SP loves me, right? Or SP is my boyfriend, SP is my girlfriend, SP is my wife, SP is my husband, something like that, right? SP and I are blissfully married, that's it. Or SP and I are happily married, for example, whichever words, right? Like, keep it simple, keep it straightforward, keep it simple. Don't complicate it, and trust the process. Like, okay, if you're going with general affirmations, trust that your subconscious mind knows exactly what you're referring to. It knows. Like, for example, one of my favorite affirmations, like if you're my client, you know this, right? Like I mentioned earlier as well, is may everything be favorable for me. Like I always say that everything be favorable for me. I also affirm that in my mother tongue as well. And when I say that, like I don't like say, okay, you have to, be focused on XYZ. I don't like, even think about some things that, when I say everything is favorable for me, I just say it because I know my subconscious understands that. I know my subconscious knows what's favorable for me. It knows my meaning of the word favorable, if that makes sense, right? What is favorable for me may not be favorable in your dictionary, but guess what? Like my subconscious mind knows what exactly I mean when I use the word favorable. So it's a very neat way of getting everything you desire with just like a very short sentence, that's tailored for you, because your subconscious mind really understands it. So when you go general, trust the process, trust in your subconscious mind, your higher self, that it understands what you mean, right? So keep your sentences short. If you're going general, trust the process, because your subconscious mind really understands it. So yeah, so I was talking about this earlier as well, right? So mental diet, you have to keep your mental diet favorable as much as possible, because here's the deal. Like I always tell this to all of my clients, there's no point if you are repeating or doing your routines every single day, but the moment you stop doing your routines, right, the moment you're done with your routines for the day, you go back to thinking the old way. That negates everything that you have done throughout the day, for example, right? Granted, there might be ups and downs here and there might be bumps here and there, right? You may see something that could potentially, you could react to. Fair enough, like it happens, gets to us, right? Time to time it happens, I'm not going to deny that. Like we're all human, it may happen, I get it. But if it's like a regular affair, you have to regulate yourself, right? You have to like see, okay, this is happening to me regularly, like this is a thought process that I'm holding on to regularly, right? So I have to change it. I have to ensure that my mental diet is favorable with regards to my desire. Am I thinking in alignment to my desires? That's the question you have to ask yourself. I'm saying this because, yes, like aim for certain numbers, aim for that 10K, and go for it. But at the same time, outside of that challenge, ensure that you have a favorable mental diet, if not a very neutral one at least. If you can't think favorably, it's okay. Like you'll get there. That this is why you are repeating your affirmations. But at the same time, if you can't, at least go neutral. And the other thing is, because you're doing this challenge, the ego mind may push the old thoughts that much more to kind of keep you in the old story. It's very normal, right? That's what the ego mind does. It's designed to keep you safe by keeping you in the old story, right? Because it's familiar, right? The ego mind loves familiarity. So it's normal if you have any intrusive thoughts which are very strong and it pops out of nowhere. Don't take it as a sign. Again, I always tell this to my clients again and again and again. Never use feelings to gauge your progress. I'm going to say that again. Never use your feelings to gauge your progress, right? They are a piss poor way of tracking your progress, right? It's the most inaccurate way. Solely use the quality of your thoughts to track your progress, guys. Right? The quality of your thoughts, right? Like, let's say you're manifesting your SP and you feel like crap. That does not say anything about where you stand with regards to your manifestation journey. You know what does? Your thoughts. What do you think about SP? Do you see them as your partner? That says a lot more about your progress. If you think, well, I'm trying to manifest him, that shows your progress, right? So I just wanted to make that disclaimer as well there, so that you guys understand, like, okay, why you're doing what you're doing, right? So I just wanted to put it out there. I think with 10K affirmation challenge, more so than the number, like I said earlier, it's about the repetition, right? So definitely, pace yourself and repeat it. And yeah, so another thing I wanted to say was, you don't have to reach 10K within a day. Some people do. Some people do. I'm not gonna sit down here and say that not everyone can't achieve that number within a day. Some do. Some do. But don't put pressure on yourself. Like I said earlier, break it down into smaller chunks if you have to. And you can maybe do it over a span of a week, for example. 1,000 affirmations per day. You can finish it in 10 days, for example. So it's a little more than a week, right? So you can do that. You can completely do that. Another thing I wanted to say was, like, if you think that your affirmations are your current affirmations are long, again, like, take the time to summarize them. If you feel like you have too many different areas, like I said earlier as well, go general. Use at least one general affirmation. If you're using the 10K affirmations, I would say definitely use at least one general affirmation so that it covers all aspects of your life. I just feel like it's an efficient way to go about it. So yeah, I think that's about it. And yeah, don't be worried about seeing results. Don't be result driven, like, in the sense that don't be on the lookout in the 3D, right? Like, you do this without expectations. Like, you just repeat this with the sole intention of cementing the new thought into your subconscious mind, to make the new thought as natural as possible in your mind. That make that your objective, rather than seeing, like, okay, I've done 10K affirmations, like, why are my results, right? The results is coming. It's already yours. Creation is finished, right? And I'm saying that because, like, let's say you are 5K affirmations into this whole challenge, right? You've done 5,000 affirmations already. I don't want people to think, hey, where's my results, right? Why isn't my SP texting me? Or where's the money, right? Like, why isn't it coming in yet? I've already affirmed 5,000 times. So, shouldn't I be at least getting some movement? No. Says who, right? I'm saying this because this is the attitude that I've seen with some people, not all, of course, but with some people. And I just want to say that don't be result driven, right? Like, sometimes the way manifestation works is that it comes out of the blue, right? It comes very last minute. I'm not saying that is how desires work, but, like, you never know, right? The higher self knows ways and means which you know not of. So rather than always being on the lookout in the 3D and like, putting pressure on yourself that way and thinking, oh, am I on the right track, am I this, again, use the quality of your thoughts to gauge your progress, right? But in the meantime, you just repeat whatever you have to without expectations, with the sole intention of cementing the new story into your subconscious mind. Make that your objective, because by the time you're done with it, you can ask yourself, okay, hey, are my thoughts favorable right now with regards to this desire? If I wake you up and ask you, like, after this 10K challenge, like, let's say you're affirming for SP and I ask you, who's your SP? If you say SP is my boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife, whichever one you're aiming for, right? If you say that, congratulations, you've passed the test, right? Another thing I wanted to say was, we have 70,000 thoughts over it, like, every single day. 70,000 thoughts. So you're not going to be able to control all of them. So don't be micromanaging anything. You just do this affirmation, but of course, ensure that your mental diet is favorable. But, like, don't be micromanaging anything thoughts wise, right? Like, don't be thinking, like, okay, well, what if I think unfavorable thoughts? Is this going to sabotage my thing? Like, only dominant thoughts manifest, which is why we are trying to make this dominant with repetition. So don't be, like, micromanaging any thoughts, and go by your life go by your life, like go and do your day-to-day things and do whatever you have to, but don't be, micromanaging anything, right? And same goes with like looking, being on the lookout in the 3D as well. Don't be micromanaging anything. Just go and live your life, and stay consistent with your techniques, of course, but once you're done with it, go and enjoy your life, go and do things, right? Don't be stuck to this, right? So guys, that's all from me. I hope this video helps you guys. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath right now. um, if this video resonated with you, be sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Turn on the bell notification so that you guys will know when I upload a new video every single week. And as of this video, we have yet to reach 1K subscribers. And I know we are going to reach it really, really soon. I've already made the intentions, but I'm also doing a giveaway. Upon reaching 1,000 subscribers, I'll be picking a winner who follows my Instagram page and subscribes to my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be giving them 1 week DM coaching for free. So I'm going to be picking that winner really, really soon. As soon as I reach 1K, I'll just pick out, put all the names into a random generator probably, and pick out a name. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. So you could be one of those as well. All you have to do is follow my Instagram page, The Seeker of Wisdom, no spaces, right? At The Seeker of Wisdom. I'll leave the link in the description, and then after that, just subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you're in. There's nothing to fill up or whatsoever. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Stay safe and happy manifesting. Peace.